to Brighton and back again for 3 weeks in a row. Tom Waters and Morgan Carlton will be cycling out of Hanoi in Vietnam and won't stop until they hit Singapore, 2,000 miles down the road. He's gone pale thinking about that now. Tom's with me in the studio this evening. Thanks very much for coming in.
No worries.
That is a long bike ride. What's all this about?
So myself and Morgan, we have both suffered from mental health issues in the past, and depression, anxiety, and we decided around about a year ago to do something huge for Mind, the mental health charity Mind. And so we made a short list, and originally the plan was to cycle through Africa, but due to kind of many issues there at the moment, we decided to move it. But by moving it, we had to go on our own, and it increased the mileage by about 1,000 miles at the same time.
The great thing I think about this is the fact that mental health can be talked about nowadays. So I say so many years ago, even recently, even as little as about 5 years ago, just wasn't talked about. Something like depression, we're not talking about serious mental illness where you're maybe in hospital, but even depression just wasn't talked about. Why do you think it's okay for people to come out and say, yeah, I've suffered with this now?
There are still issues with people stigma attached to depression and mental health issues. It's getting better. Certainly, certain celebrities and their stories that have come out in the media have been fantastic to help support it and underpin it. But people should not be afraid to talk about mental health issues. They happen to 1 in 4 people in the UK at any point in the year. And obviously for me and Morgan, we've gone through a process, but we feel in a position now that we can talk about it. And I think that's really important that people do.
It's an illness like any other illness. I mean, you wouldn't not talk about cancer. You say, I'm ill.
Yeah.
But you're doing this to raise money for Mind. Mm-hmm. Do you know what kind of work they do with the money you'll be raising?
A whole range of things. They have kind of satellite stations all around the country, and they run self-help programs. This goes to kind of medical professionals so they can offer help, and also counselling and things like cognitive behaviour therapy, which are, as we go through the future, will be more important to stave off kind of medication, the route into medication. This
is one brilliant adventure. I mean, it's a beautiful part of the world. I don't know if you ever saw the Top Gear special they did in that part of the world.
I did.
Beautiful, beautiful place. But what for you, I mean, are you a regular rider? What's going to be the hardest part?
Me and Morgan, I hadn't ridden a bicycle since I was 12 years old, and the first time I picked one up was in April of last year. So it's been about a year. We've kind of increased the distances as we've gone along, but we are in no way riders. I think we would be what you would call amateurs. Not
match fit then.
No.
It's 100 miles a day in searing temperatures.
We have put in the training. I mean, don't get me wrong, we are. Well, I feel particularly strong at the moment. We go in 2 weeks' time, but it will be a superhuman effort. Yeah.
And you do know, I mean, it's probably a bit late if you don't know, that they don't have the nice cycle tracks like we've got over here.
Yeah, we're going to be battling heavy traffic, mopeds with all the family and 6 crates on the back. You know, I've been there before. I'm fortunate enough to travel around that way 2 years ago, and it will be difficult in every sense of the word, but we are incredibly passionate about what we're doing.
You said a few celebs have come out and they're talking about mental illness now. When they go and do something like this, a fundraiser like this, they have a massive backup team and they have a nice Winnebago to sleep in at night. Is this all happening for you?
No, it's just the 2 of us and lots of gear strapped to our bicycles.
So you've got to carry your own gear as well?
Indeed, yeah, and we've got to find a place to stay after each day has passed.
You've not mapped that out already?
We have a route, but we can't book anywhere to stay because we don't know how long we're going to go for during the day. But we want to capture the imagination of people, so to do this. There are lots of charity events going on, and they're all fantastic in their own right. But we wanted to do something which was just almost an out-of-body experience to push ourselves to the extra.
But it certainly will be that 2,000 miles. I mean, what happens? Have you got a deadline? Is there a time period that you have to do it in that time because your flight's going to come home without you otherwise?
Yeah. So obviously we're both in work. We're both full-time workers, and our flight back from Singapore to London is on the 17th of April. It leaves us 22 days to do 2,300 miles, averaging around about 110 miles a day.
What happens if you don't do that?
We have to. We have to. You know, if it comes...
I hope you've got a good saddle. I'm feeling sore even thinking about this.
It was difficult getting insurance, travel insurance, but we got it, and people back us, and we believe in ourselves. And I'm sure we'll do it. We'll probably age by about 30 years at the end of it, but
sure. what an adventure. You'll have that in your head for the rest of your lives. You're doing it for Mind, a great charity. If people want to get involved, if they want to sponsor you, how do they do that?
I think the best way is, probably at the moment, is through Facebook. Our Facebook account is called Mind Over Matter Southeast Asian Cycle Challenge. And on there you can access the Virgin Giving page, which you can sponsor, and all the rest of it.
Well, listen, I want you to keep us up to date as you go along. When you stagger off that bike, walking like John Wayne at the end of every single day, just send us a photo of every day so that we know how far you are and how it's going. And then come and see us, because I just want to see how you're walking when you get back. And we want to see the photos as well. Listen, best of luck with it. It sounds like a great adventure.
Thanks very much.
Raise lots of money.
Brilliant. Cheers.
And don't forget, if you want